over the weekend, we brought you a heartwarming story of a 9-year-old boy who had not been able to start school. It was after the child's birth was apparently not registered. Now, after our coverage, the Gauteng Education Department intervened, and today this young boy will be starting school for the first time. In fact, our reporter Zikhona Tshona was with him this morning in Diepsloot as he was getting dressed. Zikhona, it was so great to see him resplendent in his, I think it was blue and yellow uniform. From this morning, where are we now in terms of his first day in class?
We are at Diepsloot Combined School, Michelle, and the young boy is currently in class. What a moment to witness. We saw him for the first time writing his name correctly with the help of a teacher. The school principal saying that he's going to need a lot of support to get through not only just the rest of this year, but to make sure that he actually does get up to where he needs to in terms of his foundation learning. Also saying that they might need to bring in psychologists to help him to support him, and also just to assess his progress. As I've mentioned, he is in class, but to talk to us more about this story and this problem facing possibly many other families in the country and in this province, I'm joined by Steve Mabona from the Gauteng Education Department. Steve, let's start here. This should not have been allowed to happen, given the fact that the grandmother has told the department that she has been trying for the past 3 years to get the child in grade 1. This should not have happened.
Yes, indeed. I mean, children need to be in the classroom. Also, if you are a child that you are in the school-going age, you need to be in the classroom. So, like as we have indicated that as a department, we are not aware about this case. Like as we indicated on Friday when you interacted with us, and we then suggested that there must be a meeting today, make sure that the school accommodate the child. And we are quite happy that the child will be taken through the process. I mean, I was interacting with the principal who assured me that the child will be taken through the entire process. I mean, this school is a full-service school. It's a combined school, full service. You do have psychologists that will be looking at the child very closely, and you also have learner support educators in the school. So it makes life easy for us. That's why we decided that in all other schools in Diepsloot, let's choose this one, because they will be in a position to assist the child to cope, look at adaptation of the child, because the child needs to adapt, and you will then think about the fast tracking. So the coping will then determine that the child is adapted, and you then fast track the child into the higher grades.
Now, given the fact that there was an attempt by the family to get this child in school and they were turned away, in your investigations, which schools turned this child away? What message will be communicating to that school? Because this certainly cannot happen again.
No, like as we've indicated, remember we interacted on Friday with you and the station, and we undertook that on Monday we will then meet with the family and make sure that the child is at school, and prioritize what we need, that is the child to be in the classroom. Now that the child is in the classroom, then the district should be in a position to assist us with the information that you put on the table to say the child was turned away. It's alarming. It's something that must not happen. Even if you don't have a document, you should be in the classroom. We go to an extent as the department to assist the families to interact with Home Affairs, write letters to say this child is in our classroom. Can you assist to fast track and make sure that there's a proper documentation? So that we will investigate and check on what happened. But in all our schools, there's no child can be turned away because there's no document. I mean, we have many illegal immigrants as well, those that are being assisted to make sure that they have documentation. We have a priority to interact with Home Affairs, because remember, someone that is not documented, we have an obligation as the department to say, we have children that are not documented, can we assist them to be documented? So that's our priority.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, Steve Mabona from the Gauteng Education department saying that this should not have happened, but it did happen. And here in Gauteng, where a child was turned away from school strictly because he did not have a birth certificate. Now, we have also spoken to Home Affairs last week. Michelle, Home Affairs says they would need to do a DNA test with the child and his father so that they can register his birth as a late registration of birth, and only thereafter will that department be able to issue him with a birth certificate. But the family is pleased for now that Siyabonga is currently going to school. The grandmother just collected his books from the school a short while ago. He's very excited and certainly looking forward to joining his cousins, because he has cousins that live with him at home that have been going to school every day, and he has just been playing in the street. His grandmother saying that he just became a young boy that people in the street would just send around to the shops, and no one really saw his purpose. And now that he's here, and now that he's at school, he can work towards pursuing his dreams, whatever he wants to be. His grandmother wants him to become a lawyer. He says he wants to work in a bank or become a police officer. So now that he's at school, he can certainly start making sure that his dreams do come true.
And we do wish him the very best. Our very own Zikhona Tshona doing a sterling job of bringing this incredibly important issue to the spotlight. And that's a note for all of us. If you do know anyone who is having a similar struggle insofar as admission to a school is concerned, you heard it there from Steve Mabona from the Department of Basic Education in Gauteng. He says no school may turn a child away because of a lack of proper documentation. Important information there.